Dipeshla. Hello everyone, Tashidale once again. So good to see all of you for today's session. As always, we will set proper motivation for today's session, which consists of three parts: refuge field, bodhicitta field, and the purpose of the practice. For refuge field, I welcome you all to visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, Arya Nagarjuna, Arya Deva, Acharya Chandakirti, Acharya Dignaga, Acharya Dharmakirti, Lama Tsongkhapa, Bodhisattva Shantideva, Jetsun Venerable Kontrajime Wangpo, the text that we're studying right now, Tenet System, and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you. And they're looking upon you with immense kindness and unconditional love, just as a mother looks upon her only child. Bodhicitta field, visualize your two kind parents seated on either side of you, mother on the left and father on the right. And you are accompanied by all dear mother sentient beings leaving none aside, and this time you are leading them in the practice with immense love and kindness. Finally, the purpose is to activate the Buddha nature within each one of us by resorting to the ultimate remedy, which is wisdom of emptiness, complemented by the driving force of bodhicitta, the aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of all dear mother sentient beings, which is grounded on renunciation, aspiration to renounce all the miseries, sufferings, all types of suffering, suffering of change, pervasive conditioned suffering, which is in turn based on the great compassion, a compassion which is directed towards all sentient beings, wishing all of them to be free from suffering and causes of suffering and the cognitive obscurations. By keeping these in mind, we'll recite the prayers from page number 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Sangye chotan soki chonam la chanchu pardu dani gyapsu che dagi chinso gi peso nam gi dola penche sangye do parsho. Sangye chotan soki chonam la chanchu pardu dani gyapsu che dagi chinso gi peso nam gi dola penche sangye do parsho. Sangye chotan soki chonam la chanchu pardu dani gyapsu che Dagi jinso gipe sonam gi dola penche sange du parsho. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, who through the knowledge of paths cause those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience help subduers expound the variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugatha, and protector, to you I make prostrations. the one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the horrible noble light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Essence of Dependent Origination Mantra. Dipeshla will play the audio.
Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yamata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha.
Thank you, Dipeshla. Meaning of the Tenryal Nyingpo mantra: all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar I Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I pay obeisance. Four seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Continuation from last time where we left on for recognizing the mother. Stanza verse number 13. It's on page number 178, those who are using the manual. Thank you, Dipeshla. Vibhashika, Sautantrika, Vijnanavardhan, and the three Eastern masters, though label this mother with names so divergent, limestone like white elephant, marked with beaming tiger stripes in the form of physical matter, a foolish lunatic monkey, an intrinsic subject, a ferocious bear, the inherency devoid of duality, yet they all lost the old mother. Likewise, many scholars and meditators, amidst Sakya, Nyingma, Karma, and Drukpa, pride themselves in diverse terminologies, self-awareness of non-subjective emptiness and clarity, primordial purity and spontaneity, the true face of Samantabhadra, Mahamudra, the unfabricated innate mind, neither existent nor non-existent, a mere absence of any thesis. It is all well if the target is hit, but I wonder what you are all pointing at. As external matter is not dismantled, Vibhashikas worry not and be pleased. Though without self-cognizance, cognition and cognized are tenable. All Vijnanavadin, O be pleased. Though without intrinsic nature, dependent relation starkly remains. Be pleased too, the three Eastern masters. As clarity and emptiness can be held as uncontradictory, upholders of pupil instructions hold doubts no more. Though primordially pure good and bad are visible, the knowledge bears needs no clinging to purity. Though one meditates through contrivance, the innate dawns. The elderly meditators need no insistence, as the absence of elaboration of existence and non-existence can be accepted. The stubborn logicians need not fret. All this occurred perhaps due to unfamiliarity with the standard conventions. For those lacking extensive study, it is not that I have no respect for you. Please pardon if offended. Though I am not an all-knower, yet have expertise in the ways of writings, the well-bred horse of my ancestors' works. Through an enduring, persistent exertion, I hope to get over the impossible cliff. No search is required for the seeker, is it? Never grasp as true, not for it is false. Yet this falsity should not be dispelled, for it is real. Help deserved is the respite, the freedom from the extreme of eternalism and nihilism. Though lacking the coveted experience of directly seeing the mother, I feel as though I am seeing right in front of me the kind parents lost for so long. Great indeed is the kindness of Nagarjuna and his disciples. Great indeed is the kindness of Venerable Losang Trakpa. Great indeed is my Guru's kindness. In return, I revere the mother. By the joyous celebration of all noble deeds, through the meeting of the young child of awareness with his unproduced and inexpressible old mother, may all mothers being be led to the lasting joy. I Rolpe Doje perform here at this joy. I dance a ecstatic joy to please the three jewels. Let's recite the Heart Sutra mantra for 3 times. 7 times. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Thank you, Dipesh Lal, Bodhicitta verses.
Okay, now taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow as the let us reinforce the visualization of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the teachers, particularly Arya Nagarjuna and all the lineage masters of the wisdom, and Arya Sangha and all the lineage masters of the method, and then in Tibet, how we got from the Bodhisattva Chandra Rakshita, Acharya Kamalashil. Then in the 11th century, a teacher Dibungara Shri Gyana, and then his teacher, Allama Selingba from Indonesia, and then the author of the text, the Tenet Systems, which we are studying in Precious Garland, Jesuit Kunjo Jima Wambo. Let us just visualize all these great enlightened beings, so loving, caring, and embracing. Then also let us reinforce the visualization of the Buddhism, all your two parents and all dear sentient beings around you, leaving none aside, your children, your all of family members, all sentient beings, leaving none aside, and particularly people who passed away, who died to this coronavirus, and who are badly hospitalized, and everyone who is suffering because of this COVID-19. Let us pray that they're all with us. And you are leading this, taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and all are joining you so piously, and with tremendous enthusiasm and zeal and love for bodhicitta, love to benefit all sentient beings, love to activate the Buddha nature within us. With that in mind, let's say these verses. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the bodhisattva practices. Okay, last time we were doing the oneness and differentness, entity-wise and isolated-wise. We are done with this, and meanwhile, Tenzin Dumala from the NMC, NTC1, Tenzin Dumala from NMC, NTC1, NTC2, she reminded me of the one question pending from many months ago about the four kayas, the Buddhas. When you become a Buddha, what aspects you take. So we talked about 2 kinds of Buddha bodies, 3 kinds of Buddha bodies, 4 kinds of Buddha bodies, and 5 kinds of Buddha bodies. How many of you remember that? We studied this the 5 years ago. We studied this the last life. Or when did we? Okay, anybody who remember having studied this somewhere in the last life or somewhere? Raise your hands. Okay, the rose hands. No clue. No, we did not really study this. So this will come last because the Buddha bodies. Achieving Buddhahood is comes last. This is Gade Para. Bodhiswa. This last one, Bodhiswa. So it will come last before we finish the NDC 2. So I never heard about it. Raise hands. Okay, which means that we all heard about it. Very good. And particularly, do you remember that there's one point which most likely some of you were a little confused about the divisions. From the divisions, the first two, like Dharmakaya and the Rupakaya, or the truth body, Dharmakaya or the truth body, Rupakaya or the form body, that's fine. And then we divide further. Some way we got a little lost. Do you remember that? Anybody? And who wanted more clarification? At that point, I said that we will learn it. This will become clear when we study the concept of the oneness and differentness, entity-wise, archetype-wise. Do you remember that? Okay, raise your hands if you could remember a particular question pertaining to the classifications of the Buddha body, like into 5. Anyone remembers? Okay, chart.
It was the division of the natural Dharmakaya, that it's free of 2 different kind of stains, and that was not really clear to us.
Very good. This is exactly the point. Okay, chart saved us. Otherwise, if you cannot bring up the question, then I can easily skip. It's an excuse for me to skip. Okay, so chart saved all of us. Thank you, chart. And this is Jumala, of course. This is Jumala who brought this up and reminded me before this class. Okay, so that's now. I'm going to very quickly do the revision of the 5 Buddha Kayas or 5 Kayas. Kayas meaning we take it as the Buddha bodies. When you become Buddha, what are the classifications? What are the aspects of the Buddha bodies? What are the aspects of you having become a Buddha? Okay. So just see if you can recall as I do the revision. Just see if you can recall. Let's say that when you become a Buddha, what happens is that broadly speaking, say the achievement Buddha is the greatest of the achievements, which means that achievement, greatest of the achievement for yourself and the greatest of achievement for others, for all the beings. 2 things: the infinite benefit of yourself and the infinite benefit for others, or in other words, ultimate goodness for self and the ultimate goodness for others. Let's not forget this. So anybody who can achieve that state, that state is the most complete win-win, ultimate win-win benefit, win-win of the situation. The greatest of benefit for yourself and the greatest of the benefit for others. Okay, but keep in mind that for the Buddha, we can't really separate like this. Okay, this for you, this for others. But in other words, every atom, every inhalation, exhalation, respiration of the Buddha is for others. Okay, this is one point. Meanwhile, say let's say in terms of the Buddha's qualities, which we see that some of them so primarily it is there to benefit the beings, and others primarily to benefit yourself. There are 2 things. One is that let's say that the qualities of the Buddha which the sentient beings can directly have access. So these are the directly for the sentient beings. So what are those things? Those are the Buddha's body, physical body. So this is known as the form body of the Buddha, or the Rupakaya. And there's another one which is the Buddha's mind. When all the mental defilements with our minds, when all the mental defilements are gone, then the purity comes out, purity manifest. So that is the Buddha's mind. So this Buddha's mind is so subtle that the sentient beings cannot have direct access. Let us not forget this. Only the Buddhas can have direct access to each other's mind. Otherwise, sentient beings, even if you are a bodhisattva on the 10th level, 10 level bodhisattva, you cannot have direct access to the Buddha's mind. So the Buddha's mind and the qualities associated with the Buddha's mind, which are not physical, these are primarily for the Buddha's own benefit, Buddha's personal benefit, whereas the physical bodies, they are primarily for the benefit of beings. But keep in mind that everything of the Buddha, including the Buddha's mind, is also for the benefit of beings, but not primarily for the sentient beings, because primarily for sentient beings means sentient beings should have direct access, and sentient beings, they don't have direct access to the Buddha's mind. You're getting it? Buddha's mind and the related non-physical aspects of the Buddha's mind. Okay, keep this in mind. So those things related to the Buddha's mind, they are known as the Dharmakaya, or the truth body of the Buddha, and those which are physical known as the form body of the Buddha, or Rupakaya. Two. And the Rupakaya, or form body, again divided into two. One which is accessible, directly accessible only to the Arya Bodhisattvas, who reach the path of seeing and above. So that is known as the Sambhogakaya, or the enjoyment body of the Buddha. And whereas the other bodies of the Buddha, which are accessible even to the non-Arya Bodhisattvas, like Buddha Shakyamuni, who appeared in the form of, say, the Prince Siddhartha, eventually became Buddha Shakyamuni, and then being accessible to even the non-Bodhisattvas. So these fall under the category of Nirmanakaya, or emanation body. So within the Rupakaya, or form body of the Buddha, there are two. One is Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and the other one is Nirmanakaya 2. Now the truth body, which is primarily for the benefit of oneself, the truth body, that is is related to the Buddha's mind. So one is the wisdom Dharmakaya, Buddha's the mental consciousness, and then the other side is the natural Dharmakaya, and the wisdom Dharmakaya is the Buddha's mind, particularly the mental consciousness, not the sensory consciousness. So sensory consciousness, are they Buddhas? Of course they are Buddhas, but then they are not. The wisdom Dharmakaya is related to the mental consciousness of Buddha, not the sensory consciousness. Keep this in mind. And then the other one, natural Dharmakaya. Natural Dharmakaya is the qualities. Okay, now this is where the benefit of what we have learned about the oneness and differentness of the entities and the isolates will come here. So the way Tenzin Dromala reminded me, and what Chart brought up here. Okay, let's say that so now, okay, this is a flower. Now tell me, anybody, the flower and the color of the flower, are these two one or different? Anybody? Raise hands. Okay, Chart.
And entity-wise, there are one, and isolate-wise, there are two.
Okay, let's say, okay, anybody else would like to explain? Yes, what Chart said is correct. The flower and the color of the flower, these two are entity-wise one and isolated-wise different. You're getting it? And keep in mind that one of the formulae that we can keep in mind is that there are any two things which are related as part and whole. One is whole and one is part. The relationship is always entity-wise one and isolated-wise different. Let us not forget this. You're getting it? Again, with this mind, somebody should tell me how the flower and the color of the flower, these two are isolate-wise different. Entity-wise one, that's fine, but I want to know how these two are isolate-wise different. What do you mean by the flower and the color of the flower to be isolate-wise different? Anybody? Elroy?
Yeah. So when we think of the flower, we can think of the flower by itself. When we think of the color, we can just think of the color. So if the flower is blue, we can just think of blue color.
Okay. Anybody else? Very good. Thank you, Elroy. Anybody else? Okay, Gayatri ji.
Isolate wise, it is coming from the mind where we are thinking, we can separate the as well as the flower.
Okay, this is very all of us, we must know this concept. If you know this concept very great, if you gain conviction in this concept, then you can tease apart many of the problems that we face in any discipline: modern physics, environmental science, health science, medical science, or even music, aesthetics. You can just use this concept so beautifully, and many of the unnecessary problems can be solved because of this concept. Okay, the way Gayatri just said is that, so when we're thinking in a mind, when you're thinking, that is, we're moving from the object towards the subject. In your subject, when you think, subject when you think, you say the flower and the color of flower, these two are seen as different in your mind. But on the object, we point to the same object. But in your mind, these two appear as different. Okay, anybody who likes to tell me as to how these two in your mind, in your subject of mind, how these two appear as different? Anybody? Anybody? This is very important. Anybody? Anybody? No? Huh? Anna Sophie? Okay, so therefore, and they all of I could not see Anna Sophie's hand coming up because your hand is being blocked by your name. You're getting it? So I told you last time to raise your hand like this. Right? Okay, above your head. Okay, good, Anna Sophie?
When you think of the color of a flower, you only see the color. If you close your eyes, you see only the color. If you think of a flower, you have the form, you have all the characteristics of a flower are there. It's a word.
Okay, very good. Thank you. The flower, the physical form, the color, and everything comes to your mind. And the color, say your mind just isolates or separate the color from the rest. Just pick up that characteristic. Very good, Anna Sophie. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, now let me give you some examples. Okay, let's say the flower, this flower, and the flower in my hand. These two are isolated, wise, one is different. This flower and the flower in my hand. These two are isolated, wise, one is different. Anybody? Anybody? Any new hands? Okay, Jyoti ji.
Geshe-la, it seems to be the same.
Okay, so these two are same. How? Where is this flower? Is here. Where is the flower in my hand? Is here. Is this what he's saying?
Yes.
This is entity wise one. I'm talking about isolated wise one is different. You getting it? Okay, anybody? 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 Okay, Sadhana.
It's isolate-wise different because when I looked at just the entity of the flower, I'm looking at the flower. I'm thinking of the flower, and I'm thinking about it in your hand. I'm thinking about the hand and the flower. So that's a different isolate.
Okay, Sadhana, tell me what is my question? Okay, NDC people should be smart enough to understand my question first. Once you know my question first, only then give the answer. Okay, Sadhana, what is my question?
That is the the flower and the flower in your hand, is it isolate-wise different?
No, I did not say this.
Oh,
I did not
sorry.
say this. Okay, anybody who understood my question? Abilardo, what is my question first?
Or the sameness of this flower and the flower in my hand.
Yes, this flower and the flower in my hand, are these two isolated wise one or different? Anybody who can give the answer now? The
Okay,
question
they're
is
different.
okay. Abilardo, you like to give the answer?
Yes, they are different. This is indicating the object, and in my hand is indicating where the object is. Two different things, two concepts, isolate
No,
wise.
even this also is where the object is. Object is not that. Object is this, right? It's also the where.
No, I didn't say it's this. I said this flower. You're indicating the object, just the object, and in my
Yes.
hand you're indicating where the object is. Two different things.
Then likewise, say this. This means not that, right? So
Yes.
space wise, this different. Not that,
Yes.
not over there. It's this. So how do
Yes.
you distinguish between the two? Anybody, anybody. This is a very important point. Okay, Ruchita. Ruchita.
Geshala, I am attempting, I may be wrong, but I just
Don't
thought I
worry.
should
Don't
try.
worry.
See, Geshala, when you point out to this flower, you're pointing to a specific entity. But when you say a flower in my hand, from your subject, you may be speaking about a different flower, which may be
No,
there in
no,
your
no.
mind.
Okay, Ruchita. No, I'm speaking about the flower in my hand, in my left hand, in my left hand now. Getting it? Okay, this flower and the flower in my left hand now. These two are isolated wise, one or different is my question.
They are isolate wise one, Geshala, I think.
Okay, Jane, isolated wise, one or different.
My inclination is to say they're the same. Isolate wise one.
Okay, these two isolated wise same, isolated wise one. Anybody else who likes to say that these two isolated wise different? This flower and the flower in my left hand now. Anybody? Okay, the Prabjot saying, unmute. Prabjot saying, unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Gesera, when I think about this flower, just a picture of this flower comes to my mind. And when I think about this flower in my hand, the picture of flower with hand comes in my mind. So I think that's how they
Okay,
are different.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
In fact,
Thank you.
what Prabjot Singh said is that when he said that this flower, the flower attached to just the location, this or that. And when he said the flower in my left hand means now it becomes more precise. One is less precise. It can be precise, this, but the precision is different, this or that, versus my hand or other's hand. You're getting it? So there in your mind is very different. This or that versus my hand or other's hand. You're getting it? In your mind is very different. So therefore, say they, although we are pointing to the same object, that is the most of us we feel it, these two should be one. We are thinking about the entity. You are getting it? We are thinking about the entity. This flower and the flower in my right hand is just the same flower. This you are talking about the entity wise the same. You're getting it? You say that, oh, although verbally you are saying that isolated wise two different, these two are same, but in actuality what you mean is you mean that entity wise the same. You're getting in your mind these two are slightly different. Even if there is 0.0001 variation in the thoughts, these two are isolated wise different. You're getting it? This is a very important point. Very important point. Okay, now let's say that, okay, my mind at the moment my mind does not have my mind does not have anger now, unless you give me a wrong, very terribly bad answer. At the moment, my mind it doesn't have anger. You're getting my mind. Let's say this is my mind. Let's say my mind freed of a mind freed of anger. You're getting it? Okay, let's say Dorji's mind. Okay, Elroy's mind freed of anger. At the moment, I'm sure Elroy is not angry. Elroy angry, not angry, not angry. So Elroy's mind freed of anger. Elroy's mind at time one, time A, time one, T1 meaning time one, time A, freed of anger, and Elroy's mind freed of attachment, time A, both time one, right? So these two minds are these two entity-wise one are different. Raise hands. Raise hand. 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 I'm looking for new hands. Okay, Jill. Let's all listen. Entity-wise.
Entity-wise,
Elroy's
same.
mind. Elroy's mind at the moment it is 6:15. Elroy's mind at 6:15 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 21st October 2020. Freed of attachment, and the same mind freed of anger. Okay, these two minds, entity-wise one is different.
Entity-wise, one. It's one object.
Oh, is it entity-wise one?
Entity-wise, one
No, what I
object.
said is that what I said is that these two minds. And you are saying entity-wise one. Okay, anybody? Anyone? Raise hands. Everybody's scared now. So this is okay, Brother Peck.
Geshe-la, you mentioned that one mind is free of attachment.
The mind free of attachment,
and then another mind is free
mind of Elroy. Elroy's mind. Elroy's mind free of attachment. Now, Elroy's mind free of anger. Now,
yeah. So here, two things. One is free of attachment. One is, yes.
No,
two minds.
Two entities or one entity?
Two entities. Yes.
Okay, two entities. Okay. Okay, now the Jill, one entity, Brother Peck, two entities. Now, if there is the Ruchita, if you can say half, then there will be, then entity has a complete form. Okay, one said one entity, some said two entities. Then the Ruchita, if she has half. Okay, Ruchita, what's your answer? Okay, it's one entity. So, Jill, I was just trying to confuse you by intimidating you, right? Okay, so you should be strong. No is one entity, right? Even if I trick you, you say that yes, it is one entity. You're getting it? You are right. It is one entity. Now the question is, are these two the one entity, one isolate or different isolates? Anybody raise hands? Okay, Elroy's mind now, the present Elroy's mind freed of attachment, present Elroy's mind freed of anger. Okay, these two are entity, isolated wise, one is different. Okay, Gayatri ji.
I don't know whether I'm right, Geshe-la, but I feel it's two isolates because two different emotions are coming out of the same Elroy's mind. One is when I think of detachment, not attached, then it's a different feeling. And when I think of anger, it's completely different. So two isolates.
Okay, so then chart, what will you say? In fact, Gayatri ji's answer is very good, but it can be quite risky, right? Okay, the answer is correct, but it can be risky. Okay, chart, what do you think?
I also think it's isolate-wise different.
How?
Yeah, because what you describe comes different to your mind.
Okay, how?
Because in the first place you say it's lacking attachment, and in the second phrase you say it's lacking anger.
Okay, good. Okay, Lianqiu.
One entity in two isolates.
How these are two isolates?
Because the referent is the subject, which is my mind that I am looking at. Aroy's mind.
Yes.
Therefore, in the first isolate, I perceive the lack of anger.
Yes.
As one state, and in the second isolate, I perceive the lack of attachment as the second isolate.
So these two are not one?
Two isolates.
Why these are not one?
Why are they not one?
Yes.
Because my mind is perceiving them as two different states.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, you got it. Okay, let's say the Susanna, what do you think? Unmute. Unmute.
Can
What do you
the
think?
isolate one, can it be one? Because attachment itself is already free from everything. So can the second one free of anger? Because anger is part of attachment. I don't know.
Okay,
Because
so
its
let's say
attachment means it's free of everything. You detach from
okay.
everything. So can it
Okay,
be
let's
part
say
of attachment? Like a sub?
very good. Susanna, you are, by the way, is it your name Susanna or Suzanne? Unmute. Unmute.
Susanna?
Susanna. Okay, let's see. Susanna, what are you talking? You are talking from your heart. I can see that. I can see that. Now what is required is the heart plus the technicality. Both should be there. Don't worry. So this is what for we are here. We are learning. So the point is that let's say the attachment has it has a technical meaning. Attachment means a mind which flows towards the object of attraction. That is the attachment, right? We keep it very precise. Anger means a mind which runs away from the object. That is anger. So both have problems. Attachment also a problem, anger is also a problem. But they can trigger, each can trigger the other side. But when you are angry, you are not attached. When you attach, you are not angry. But the attachment can lead to anger. Anger can lead to attachment. You're getting it? So these things we have to learn from NDC. Okay. With this, by the way, what are the how Lianchu said, how Chart said, I can understand it that you are getting it, and the so basically Susanna also you are getting it. The from there you are trying to explain what anger is, what attachment is, and then on that basis, free of anger, free of attachment. So you are getting the proper understanding. Okay, Carolyn Hansen, what do you think? Okay, this is very important concept. We must, each one of us must get it. Okay, Carolyn.
So the question was, why are they different?
Okay, first the question is the present Elroy's present mind freed of attachment, Elroy's present mind freed of anger. Are these two isolated wise one or different?
I think their isolate is different.
How different?
I think it has to do with the part in the whole that you were talking about, maybe where the mind isolate wise there are two parts. And I don't know how to explain it. Attachment and anger are aspects of.
How many of you are convinced that these two are isolated wise one? Raise hand. How many are convinced that these two are isolated wise one? Elroy's present moment of the mind freed of attachment, Elroy's present moment of the mind freed of anger, right? These two minds isolated wise one. Raise hands. Okay, isolate-wise different. Raise hands. Okay. Very good. Shelly, what do you think? Isolate is one or different?
Geshe-la, I could be wrong, but actually I'm thinking about a multicolored flower. If you say
Yeah.
this flower, there are two shades of a flower, right? So do we call them isolated-wise different? We call them no, they
Okay,
one.
so
Entity-wise.
Shelly wants to drag me into confusion, right? First, Shelly, you have to give my answer. First, you have to give my answer. Once you give me the correct answer, then I'll give you my answer,
Okay.
right? So my
I
question
think
to
the
you is,
entity.
Elroy's present mind freed of anger, Elroy's present mind freed of attachment. These two are the same isolate or different isolates.
They are the same isolates.
Okay. Let's say Elroy's mind and Elroy's mind freed of anger. What are these two? Entity device one is different. My isolate device one is different.
Then they're different.
How different?
Because mind has a lot more than just anger. Mind is a lot more than just anger, and anger is an aspect, not the complete mind.
No, I'm not talking about the anger. I'm talking about the freedom from anger. Freed of anger. Elroy's mind, freed of anger, and Elroy's mind in general. These two are one. These two isolate device one is different.
They're different.
How
They're
different?
Very
Okay, if
different.
then the Elroy's mind, freed of attachment, Elroy's mind being impermanent. These two entity isolate device one is different.
Free of attachment. I'm confused, Geshe-la. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I
so
got confused. You confused me now.
The Elroy's mind freed of attachment versus Elroy's mind being impermanent. Are these two isolate device one is different? Raise hands. Who can give answer? Raise hands. Who can give answer? Raise hands. Okay, Jane.
Geshe-la, they're different because you're distinguishing between two different. The mind is distinguishing between two different aspects.
How?
You said if the mind distinguishes two objects, then there are two isolates.
Very good. Very good. Very good, Jane. Thank you. Okay. The okay, Carolyn Hanson.
Can I change my answer from the first question?
Yes.
So now that I heard you say freed of anger and freed of attachment, so
Yes.
I think change that to it being one, because the freed is freed. That's one thing.
Okay, let's say let's say that Dorji's mind freed of anger, and Dorji's mind freed of no greed. Freed of no greed means have greed, right? So these two are different. These two isolate was one is different. Freed of anger, no anger, but he has greed. You're getting it? Freed of anger and freed of no greed, which means has greed. So these two are isolate was one is different. Different. Very good. But these are both freed, right? Freed is freed. Carolyn Meng, you said it right. Because one is freed, other one's freed. Freed is freed. So therefore, entity-wise, isolate-wise one. This is what he said. So freed from attachment, freed from aversion. Let's say that okay, if I can see that many of you already got it. Still, I like to make sure that it is reinforced. Say freed of attachment. Freed of attachment. When somebody says, "Oh, he's free of attachment," Elroy is free of attachment, then you can keep your items freely in front of him. You're getting it? He's free of attachment. He will not take away these things. Okay, free of attachment. But he can be angry. Don't go too close to him. He may slap you anytime, right? He can be angry. And then when he said that, Okay, Elroy's mind freed of anger, free to attachment, I'm not sure. Free to anger, I'm sure. So there what you do is that you can go close by him, you can just provoke him, you can talk anything funny about him, he will show no anger. You're getting it? But your items, will you freely distribute them in front of him? You will not, because you don't know whether he's free from attachment. You're getting it? So freed from attachment, freed from the anger, the way Gayatri just said, that emotionally you feel two different things. Emotionally. So when you say that the person is free of attachment, you just feel like going close to the person. Because, when you are with somebody who's so possessive, it's very complicated. To be with somebody who's so possessive is very complicated. You feel suffocated. Whereas if there's somebody who's really attachment free, you are by being with the person, and you can go away, you can come, you can feel the freeness. Even the animals, they feel so free. If you are more free from attachment, or you are not too possessive, if the animals they come close by you, they go away. And then free from anger, then you will not be you will not have a fear that anytime the person will blast, right? Was the person free of anger? Okay, so there emotionally we see that it has two different emotional states given rise to this one thing, and otherwise say anger, free from anger. Okay, let me give you one example that can help us greatly. Free from anger and free from attachment in general. These two are isolated, but so one is different. In your mind, these two appear different, or these two appear same? Anybody? Very quick. Okay, Jill.
So, with respect from the subject, it's purely coming from my mind that these are different. So, I would say different. They don't appear
How
the same.
different? It's the same thing. Jill?
Yes. Isolate wise, different. Isolate wise, different. There's a separateness.
This is what I'm saying. So, in your mind, these two appear same. It's the same object.
I'm pointing at the same object, so the entity will be one. But from the mind, it's coming as two different states or phenomena. There's a separateness between these characteristics. So I would say
very good, very good.
Different.
Okay, now Jill knows my trick. Okay, good. Okay, so the free of attachment and free of anger, these two are isolated wise different. You're getting it? Because anger means different from attachment. Likewise, the absence of anger is different from absence of attachment. Right? Okay, so these two in your mind, these two appears very different. So these two things you attach to anything, like Elroy's present moment of mind is free from attachment, free from anger. These two are isolated wise different. Okay, very good. Now, this flower is not chocolate. How many agree with me? Okay, raise hands. Okay, and this flower is not a red flower. Very good. This flower is not the apple juice. Okay, now this flower not being apple juice, this flower not being chocolate. Are these two entity-wise one or different? Raise hands, raise hands. New hands, new hands. Okay, new hands, new hands, new hands, new hands. No new hands. They're all okay. Not old hands, young hands. Swikim. Swikim. This flower is not chocolate. This flower is not a juice.
Entity-wise should be the same, Ishida.
Isolated-wise?
Isolated-wise should be different.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
how many
you.
agree with Swikim? Raise hands. How many agree with Swikim? Raise hands. Okay, how many you do not agree with Swikim? Raise hands. Okay, which means that we all agree with Swikim. Very good. Thank you. Now, the Buddha's mind. You're getting it? The Buddha's mind not existing as objectively real. Buddha's mind, okay, freed from being objectively real. Buddha's mind, freed of being a flower, right? Entity-wise, isolated-wise, one is different. Buddha's mind freed of being objective, freed of being objective existence means the Buddha's mind is not objective existent, right? Buddha's mind freed of objective existence and the Buddha's mind not being a house. These two are isolated-wise, one is different. Anybody? Raise hands, raise hands. Okay, the Anna Sophie. Very good. Andre. Very good. Buddha's mind freed from being objectively existent. The Buddha's mind freed from being a flower. These two are isolated-wise different. Raise hands. Isolated-wise different. Raise hands. Very good. Okay. Now, Buddha's mind freed of being objectively existent, and the Buddha's mind freed of anger, or freed of afflictions. Freed of afflictions. These two are entity-wise, isolated-wise, one is different. Raise hands. Who can give the answer? Niveditaji, you like to give the answer? Niveditaji, you like to give the answer? Unmute yourself. Unmute. Isolate-wise. Very good. Okay, now let's keep in mind that they said the Buddha's mind is freed of many things. Buddha's mind is freed of objective existence. The Buddha's mind is also freed of mental stains, afflictions, or the mental defilements. You're getting it? Mental defilements. So Buddha's mental defilements means afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. And our mind is not freed of mental defilements. Our mind is so rich with mental defilements. You're getting it? But our mind is freed of being objective existence. Being objective existent, our mind is freed of being objective existent. You agree with me or not? Raise hands. Okay, now our mind, you say our mind, my mind. Okay, let's say our mind being freed of being freed of objective existence, and being freed of omniscience. Our mind being freed of objective existence, and our mind being freed of omniscience, meaning that our mind is not omniscient. So these two are isolated-wise, one is different. Okay, raise hands those who say isolated-wise one. Okay, those raise hands those who say isolated-wise different. Very good. Okay, you're getting this now. So given that, say that omniscience and say the objective existence, these two are different. So our mind, even though same mind, freed of objective existence and freed of omniscience, so these are also isolated-wise different. If that is the case, then objective existence and the objective existence is given a label. Just given a label. What label is given? Natural stain. Objective existence is given a label, natural stain. You're getting it? And why it is known as natural stain, that we will study later. If you are interested, you can study later. But it is arbitrarily given the label, the natural stain. So when in your mind, whenever somebody says natural stain, right, natural, in the context of the Buddhist philosophy, you just think about objective existence. You're getting it? Okay. For example, let's say, okay. Okay, Brother Peck, what's the meaning of Peck?
Peck is white in Hokkien.
What does it mean?
White.
White. Okay.
In this dialect, in this Chinese dialect called Hokkien.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Prabjotji, what is the meaning of Prabjot?
Geshe-la-ji, it's God's lamp.
God's land.
Yes.
God's land. Okay.
Lamp.
Okay, NDC, do you have NDC? NDC class, do you have God's land? Do you have God's land? You have. Oh, wow. Okay. So the God's land move here and there. Okay. So what I'm saying is that it's just a label given there. For example, say Dorji. Dorji means diamond. I'm not a diamond. You're getting it? I'm not an inanimate object. I'm an animate object. But diamond is the inanimate object. I'm not diamond, but I'm just arbitrarily given the label diamond. You're getting it? Okay. So with the label, don't be too fixed. Don't be too fixated. So natural stain is just an arbitrary label given to the objective existence. Objective existence, to refer to the objective existence, is just given a label, the natural stain. So okay, is your mind freed of natural stain? Raise your hands. Yes, raise your hands. Your mind, is it freed of natural stain? Natural stain means objective existence. According to Prasangika, nothing exists objectively, including your mind. You're getting it? Your mind, is it freed of objective existence? Raise your hands. Yes? Very good. Is it freed of natural stains? Raise your hands. Very good. Okay. Okay, tell me, Andre, or let's say anybody raise hands who said that our minds are freed of natural stains. Raise hands. Okay, okay, Cindy. So how is the mind freed of natural stain? Unmute.
Hello, Kishira. Because our mind does not have objective existence.
Very good, very good. Thank you. That's it. Okay, we got it. Now, okay, now let's see. This is very important. Now the Buddha's mind. Buddha's mind is freed of natural stain. Do you agree with me or not? Raise hands. If you agree, tell me how the Buddha's mind is freed of objective existence. Raise hands. How the Buddha's mind is freed of objective existence. Raise hands. Abilardo, you'll have to give answer. How?
I cannot see the Buddha's mind.
No, this is not the point. The point is, how is the Buddha's mind freed of natural stain? This is my question. Okay, if anybody can repeat what Cindy said, you got a correct answer. You don't have to look for any other answers. Just repeat what Cindy said. Anybody? How is the Buddha's mind freed of the natural stain? Okay, Cindy, tell me again.
Because
okay, let us all listen to Cindy.
The Buddha's mind is free of objective existence.
And objective existence is arbitrarily labeled as
natural stains.
Natural stains. Perfect. You are getting it. Buddha's mind is freed of natural stain because it is freed of objective existence, and objective existence is arbitrarily labeled as natural stain. Very good. The next question. Buddha's mind is freed of mental defilements. Yes, no, yes, raise hands. Buddha's mind is freed of the defilements. Very good. Okay. Anybody who can give an answer why or how the Buddha's mind is freed of freed of mental defilements? Anybody? Shelly, you want to give answer? Okay. Shelly, you want to give answer?
Geshila, because Buddha is an Arya. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer, but I just instinctively think that.
Give me a thought. Yeah. My question is not why. My question is how. All right. Okay, let's see, Raviji. How is Buddha's mind freed of the mental defilements?
The Buddha's mind omniscience.
Okay. So Buddha's mind is reached the state of omniscience. What do you mean by mental defilements? Anybody? Okay, Jyoti.
It's free from afflictive and cognitive obscurations.
Very good. Afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations, these two constitute the mental defilements. So anybody who is freed of these two is referred to as freed from mental defilements. You're getting what Jyotiji said? Okay, sadhana.
Yes. What was the question? That it's
Okay, the question, sorry. I just pointed to you and then you did not ask the question. The question is, how is the Buddha's mind freed of mental defilements?
because it's free of afflictive and cognitive obscurations.
Perfect, very good. Okay, how many agree with the sadhana? Raise hands. Very good. Okay, now let us not forget what is as to what constitutes the mental defilements, what constitutes the natural stains. Natural stains and okay. Anything that I like to just bring you to notice is the mental defilements are also referred to as adventitious stains. Adventitious stains. Stains which are not intrinsically there, which can be removed. This is known as the adventitious stains. Mental defilements, afflictive and cognitive obscurations, they are also referred to as the adventitious stains. Stains, mental stains, which can be removed. Which can be removed. You're getting it? Which can be removed. Okay. Okay. Now, my question to you. Buddha's mind is freed of adventitious stains. You agree with me or not? You agree? Raise hands. Very good. Okay, anybody who likes to give an answer as to how the Buddha's mind is freed of adventitious stains? Anybody? Raise hands. Huh? Julia? Julie? Julie? Yes, Julie Thomas. Julie, you are in dark. I cannot see you. Luckily, our IT staff saw you. Okay, Julie, unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay, this is not Julie actually. This is Venerable Petronella. Julie and Venerable Petronella same? Okay, Venerable Petronella, tell me. Yeah, same. How is the Buddha's mind freed of adventitious stains? Unmute yourself.
Okay, Venerable, I'm unmuting you. Kindly go ahead.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Okay, my question is, what does it mean by the Buddha's mind being freed of adventitious stains?
Free of
A little louder.
free of the cognitive and affective.
Very good. Freed of afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Very good. Okay, very good. Now my question to all of you. My question to all of you is, Buddha's mind freed of natural stain. Don't forget what we decided earlier, what we learned earlier. The Buddha's mind is freed of both natural stain as well as adventitious stains. Now my question to you is, Buddha's mind freed of natural stain and Buddha's mind freed of adventitious stains, these two are isolated, entity-wise one or different? Entity-wise one. Raise hands. Okay, Buddha's mind freed of natural stains and Buddha's mind freed of adventitious stains, these two are entity-wise different. Raise hands. Okay, very good. Okay, these two are entity-wise, the isolated-wise one, isolated-wise different. Raise hands. Buddha's mind freed of natural stains and Buddha's mind freed of adventitious stains. These two are isolated-wise different. Raise hands. Very good, amazing. Okay, good. Now finally we got there. The point is that, okay, so we speak about the natural Buddha nature. Natural Buddha nature versus the wisdom Buddha nature. The wisdom kaya, wisdom dharmakaya, and the natural dharmakaya. So dharmakaya split into two, right? First dharmakaya versus the rupakaya, and the dharmakaya further split into two, that is the national Dharmakaya and the wisdom Dharmakaya, and the national Dharmakaya again is split into two. National Dharmakaya, which is the national Dharmakaya from the point of view of freedom from the national stains, and from the point of view of freedom from adventitious stains. You're getting it? Okay, now my question to you. The national Dharmakaya, which means the Buddha's mind. National okay, the Buddha's quality of the cessation. The quality of the Buddha's, a quality of cessation of the Buddha's mind. Meaning that Buddha's mind freed of defilements. Right? So that quality of cessation, that cessation with respect to freedom from national stains versus with respect to freedom from adventitious stains. These two are isolated wise, one is different. Isolated wise different, in this sense. Okay, very good. You got it. You're getting it. So from this, we learn that national Dharmakaya is of two kinds. National Dharmakaya, from the point of view of having been freed from national stains, and from the point of view of being freed from the adventitious stains. You're getting it. So these are the two. One is in terms of the what is that? From the point of view of freedom from national stain, this is emptiness of the Buddha's mind. The first one is the emptiness of the Buddha's mind. And second one is what you speak about the truth of the cessation. To the cessation in that context of the Four Noble Truths. Truth of the suffering, cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering and causes. You're getting it? Okay, you got it. Very good. Okay. In this connection, also like to share with you that okay, now let's say let's say that this is a gold pen. Let's say this is gold pen. This is a gold pen. This is a gold pen. Let's say this gold pen. Gold. Let's say this gold. This is solid gold. This is solid gold. And the part, it is red, hot, burning gold. You're getting it? Immersed in the fire. And it is now red. It is solid red, the burning gold. Okay. So the what do you call it? Red hot burning aspect and the gold aspect of this same pen, are these two entities one or different? Resents that it is burning, red burning, the fire, and being a gold. These two are entities one or different resents. Who likes to give the answer? Raviji?
Same.
Okay, these two entities are same. Okay. Massimo, what do you think?
Definitely same.
Entity wise same.
Yes.
Okay. Nivedita, what do you think? Unmute yourself.
They are the same. They are the same.
Very good. Julia Kuhn, what do you think?
They're the same.
Okay, entity wise same. Okay. Susanna, what do you think? Okay, let's say this is a gold, solid gold. Let's say solid gold, and I put in the fire for too long, and the fire is burning. It's the high temperature fire, and it is now red burning gold. So the red fire of this object and this being a gold, these two are entity-wise one and different. Susanna, what do you think? Very good. Entity-wise one. Okay. Venerable Petronella, what do you think? Unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay. Venerable Petronella, what do you think? Entity-wise louder. Very good. Entity-wise one. Okay. Now these two are isolated-wise one and different. Raise hands. Isolated-wise one. Raise hands. These two are isolated-wise one. Okay, isolated wise different. Reasons? Okay, that's amazing. Okay, let me see. Brother Peg, how these two are isolated wise different?
Because it has a different aspect. Yeah, one is solid and one is liquid form. Right?
No, both are solid.
So solid, is it? I thought you
Right.
said
Both are
it has
solid. Fire is also solid, right?
oh, I
It's
see.
a burning
Oh, it's
gold.
burning. It's burning. Yes.
Yeah, it's a gold.
Yeah.
Gold, which still a solid gold there.
Still solid gold.
Only thing is it's burning, red burning.
Yes,
Burning
that's
red.
right. Yeah.
So both are solid. So these two are entity-wise, isolated-wise different, Shelley.
Sorry, yeah, Sheila, I'd gone to the washroom. I missed it. I missed the conversation. I'm sorry.
Okay, don't worry. The question is that this is gold, and I put in fire for, I exposed this in fire from a high temperature fire for about like 1 hour. Now it is burning red gold. So the burning red part and the gold, as per the gold, these two are entity-wise one or different.
Entity-wise, they become one.
Okay, and isolated-wise one or different.
They're different.
Wow. Okay. Anybody raise hands to give me the answer as to how these two are isolated-wise different. Okay, Susanna.
It's isolate-wise different because it became red and it's burning.
I say it again.
Visually, it became red and it's burning. So it's two.
Oh, what are the two? Red and the burning. These two are
Yeah.
things? No, I did not say that. Red burning is one, and the gold number two. I said this is gold. This is pure gold, but it's now burning red. Right? It's burning and it's really red rather than yellow. So being a burning red and being a gold, are these two of the same object? Are these two entity-wise one or different? Isolated-wise one or different? Okay, Carolyn Ming, what do you think?
Isolate wise is different because the mind, the subject mind, can isolate the difference of these two. One is gold color, one is gold color, the mind can perceive is gold, and the other has been heated, is burning hot. That's why two are different isolate.
Very good. Okay, in your mind, these two appear as two different things. In your mind, one is from the point of view of the fire, burning. One is from the point of view of preciousness as a gold. These are very different. Very good. Okay, now so this is how your mind separate. Can you separate this physically? Anybody? Can you separate these two physically? Gayatri ji?
Entity-wise, because it remains the same, you cannot take the heat out of the
Okay, which means Gayatri ji said, no, we cannot be separated. Okay, how many of you are daring to say yes, the two can be separated? Raise hands. To say no is easy. To say yes is difficult. If you say yes, then I will say how. If you say no, finish, full stop. Okay, how many of you would say yes, it can be separated? Anybody? Shelly?
Keshila, we just need to put water on the fire. They become different. We just put the water. It becomes different.
Just immerse this burning gold, the hot red burning gold in the cool water, right? The fire will disappear and the gold will be left. You're getting it? Perfect, as simple as that. Shelly, amazing. You think out of the box. Thank you. Okay. This is how our mind, which is like the gold, yet it is burning, right? The burning gold, if you hold it, it'll burn your hand. You're getting it? If you throw this, you are throwing gold. What should you do? Should you hold it or should you throw this? If you throw this, you are throwing gold. You will not do that. If you don't throw this, it will keep burning your hand. What should you do? Separate the two, right? Dip in the water, remove the fire, and keep the gold. Likewise, our mind is like that. Our mind, the true nature is the gold, right? That gold, the true nature is not the red. It is yellow. It's a glowing yellow. Redness is a temporary nature. It's the adventitious nature. So true nature of mind is so pure. It's a pure gold, the gold of the Buddha's mind. Yet we don't see that. We see the burning, the burning nature of the afflictions of the mental defilements, right? So our burning mental defilements and our mind, these two are the same entity but different isolates. Yes, are these two different isolates or same isolate? My mind and my mental defilements, these two are same isolate or different isolate? Okay, different isolates. Raise hands. Very good. Okay, if these two are different isolates, then the like the gold can be removed. Can we separate the two physically? Can we separate the two? Answer is yes. Just dip our mind in the cool water of wisdom of emptiness. Dip this mind in the cool water of the wisdom of emptiness, and the defilements will all go away. You're getting it? With the aspiration of bodhicitta, dip this mind into the wisdom of emptiness, and what will come out? Come out where the fire has died. The fire has died, and the gold will glow. This is what will come out, right? So that is how we separate. Although say entity-wise one at one point, but still the isolate-wise different. And we can not only make them isolate-wise different, we can also make them entity-wise different. You're getting it? Okay. So with this, we see that this gold, where the redness is removed by dipping in the cool water, dipping in the cold water, redness is removed. That is the adventitious stain. Adventitious stain. Our mind, when dipped in the wisdom of emptiness, then the self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude, all will be removed. This is the removal of the adventitious stain. At the same time, it is also freed of the natural stain, because it has never been objectively existent. It is always free of being objectively existent. You're getting it? So therefore, at that point, this mind is freed of two things. One, the natural stain, and the other, it is free from adventitious stains. Two. You're getting it? And these two things, that the mind is freed of the natural stain, the mind is freed of the adventitious stains, these two are the same entity, but two different isolates. You're getting it? Very good. Okay, this is how, now the point is, from this what we learn is that after learning all this, say entity-wise one different, isolate-wise one different, from there we can see that our true nature of mind, we can see it very clearly. Our true nature of mind, my mind and my mental defilements, these two are not identically one. These two are isolate-wise different. Isolate-wise different, and how these two isolate-wise different is that the one is the intrinsic nature. A mind is the intrinsic nature, but the anger, attachment, craving, jealousy, fear, anxiety, all these things are adventitious stains. We can remove them. We can remove them. Just dip the gold in the cool water, and the fire disappears. The fire extinguishes, and the gold is left behind. The yellow, blazing, or the glowing gold, yellow gold, will come out. So that is your Buddha nature. When mixed with the mental defilements, it's seen as red fire, very aggressive. But when you dip in the wisdom of emptiness, then the fire will go away and the gold will be left. It becomes very pure gold. Okay, this is with this understanding, then the conviction in your potential, your Buddha nature. Wow, that's amazing. So henceforth, I should never be angry towards myself, right? If I really want to be angry towards myself, or if I really dislike something about me, is about the fire, aspect of the fire, the isolate of the fire, which I can remove. I remove this, and then I will manifest in the form of gold, pure gold, right? Pure gold. So I should never underestimate myself. I should never hate myself. If ever I really dislike something, I should dislike the mental defilements, adventitious things, which I can separate from my mind. I can separate it, and the true nature will come out. What is the true nature? The Buddha nature will come out, manifest. At that point, you manifest into a perfectly wise, compassionate, full of integrity being. That is the Buddha. You become a Buddha at that point. So at that point, then you can have the greatest of the qualities within yourself. That is, the Dharmakaya. And then, so this quality that you have can manifest in all the forms of the physical manifestations to benefit beings. That's a Rupakaya. You're getting it? So we see that within the same mind, after learning this oneness, differentness, entity-wise, otherwise, from there you can the unlock or unravel the many qualities within yourself. You can just tease apart all these nuances within, otherwise which remain so like the entangled, intertwined, that you can see them as just one solid entity, one unit. And then to see the Buddha nature, again this is the same mind, angry nature, the same mind, you get a little lost. Now it's very easy. The Buddha nature is very pure. My mental defilements, they are adventitious. These two appear in my mind. These two appear same entity, but isolated-wise they are different. You're getting it? So, isolated-wise different, and I can separate them. And then make this Buddha nature become entity-wise so pure, freed of the isolated of the mental defilements. So this way, then the conviction in the presence of the Buddha nature within yourself can become really vibrant, and you will become very confident that, okay, now I realize with the study of the oneness differentness, I realize that the Buddha nature is within me, and the mental states, they are, and the isolated wise, they're different. And then we can separate the two. In physical sense as well, we can separate the two. Okay, this is the benefit. Very good. Okay, now after this, then we'll go to the next part, which is the subject. So now the object part. Svatanta Madhyamika. Okay, so this fine. We'll go to the subject. Now subject, and then then the path and the results. Okay, that's I will not stress too much on those parts, except for those which are distinctive features of a South Chinese school. I will emphasize. Otherwise, in this school, what is to be learned is entity-wise, isolated-wise, one, different, and then the positive, negative phenomena, and so forth. Okay, now from this you will be let us do a little bit of exercise here, combining the two things: isolate entities concept, oneness, differentness, and the positive, negative phenomena. You're getting it? Okay, let's see. Okay, you just give me the answer. Whatever question that I ask you, be very precise and give me, let's say, one-word answer or two-word answer, right? Okay, Brother Beck, what is this? Very quick.
This is a flower.
Very good. Okay, the Minodiji, what is this?
Geshe-la, I think it's a string. Oh, it's a beads, Geshe-la. It's the prayer beads.
Prayer beads, very good. Okay, Swikim, what is this?
Remote control.
Remote control, very good. Okay, Sadhana, what is this?
A pamphlet? Oh, booklet. Book.
Very good. Okay, Niveditaji, what is this?
Can't see you, Geshe-la. That's a plate.
Oh.
That's a plate.
Okay,
Saucer.
yes. Very good. Okay. I asked how many questions? Okay. Jane, what is this?
Phone, Geshe-la.
Phone. Okay. Carolyn Ming, what is this? Carolyn Ming.
A cup. cup.
Okay, mug cup. Okay, Andy, what is this? What is this? Andy, what is this? Andy. Hey, Andy.
Hi, Gisela. It's a
What is
jug
this?
of water.
Yes, thank you. Okay, finally, Prabjot Singh ji, what is this? Prabjot Singh, what is this?
It's a mask. It's a mask. Gisela.
Okay,
It's a
mask.
mask. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How many questions I asked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think about like 8 questions. Okay, Carolyn Main, thank you. 8 questions. Okay, tell me. All the objects you refer to while you give the answer, all these objects, are they positive or negative? Raise hands. Anybody? Okay, Venerable Petronella. Unmute. Unmute. Positive. Okay. Okay, look. You tell me, is it correct or not correct? You ask me, what is this? I say that this is non-chocolate. Is it correct or not correct? Right? It's correct. You're getting it? This non-tiger. This is non-objective existence. They're all correct. But, so let's say, this is non-chocolate. Non-chocolate is a positive or negative phenomena. Okay, Abelardo? Negative phenomena. Okay, this is non-tiger. This is non-objective existence. The objective existence. Lianchu, what is it? What is it? Positive, negative?
Negative.
Okay, Asukim, this is non-flower. Positive, negative? Unmute.
Positive.
Hey, okay. Non-flower. Huh? Non-flower. Non-flower. Positive, negative. Raise hands. Anybody? Huh? Okay, Andy?
Negative, Gisela.
Negative. Okay, but this is a flower, right? Okay, now Andy, Andy and Sukim, you have to debate. Sukim, what makes you think that this is positive? Non-flower. Because you are referring to flower, and the flower is positive phenomenon. This is what he's saying, right? So, Andy, what do you think? Why? What makes you think that this is negative phenomenon? Non-flower.
First, not a flower. The first not means it's a negative
Okay, so
phenomenon.
not is an explicit negation of non-flower,
Yeah.
right? So you are explicitly negating the non-flower. So you explicitly negate something, automatically that becomes a negative phenomenon. Okay, Carolyn Henson, what do you think? Non-flower, positive, negative.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm confused. I actually have a question about the definitions that will maybe help me later.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Lianchu. Non-flower.
Non-flower means the absence of a non-flower.
Yes. Is a negative phenomenon or positive phenomenon?
So it's positive.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Cindy, what do you think?
I think it's a negative phenomenon.
Negative phenomena. Okay. Carolyn, what do you think?
Affirming negative. It's positive.
Very good.
but it's
No, it's not a positive. Positive and negative. Positive, negative, these two are positive, negative, these two are mutually exclusive. If one is positive, can never be a negative. If one is a negative, can never be a positive. You're getting it? So, say non-flower is a negative Within negative there are two, affirming, negative, non-affirming. It is affirming negative. What Lianchu said, this is a negative phenomena, but within negative there are two, affirming, non-affirming. This is affirming negative. It affirms the flower, right? It explicitly negates the non-flower, and it affirms flower. You're getting it? So this is a non-affirming negative, no, affirming negative. Okay. Now what I'm saying is that when I say what is this? Okay. By the way, who's that? Brother Peg said that this is a flower, right? So there are many answers. This is a flower. This is not non-flower. This is not. This is the absence of chocolate. This is absent of the autonomous substance reality. This is absent of objective existence. There are so many things you can think of on this object as positive, negative, non-affirming, affirming, negative, so forth. But all the answers that you give, they are all positive phenomena. You agree with me or not? This indicates something. This indicates something. You're getting it? That our minds are addicted to seeing things as positive phenomena. You're getting it? Our minds are addicted to seeing positive phenomena. Our minds are not trained to see the negative phenomena, and particularly non-affirming negative. Our mind is not trained to look at the non-affirming negative. What is the emptiness of objective existence of the flower? Is a non-affirming, is a positive and negative phenomena. Raise hands. Emptiness of objective existence. Okay, Venerable Petronella. Unmute. Okay. Venerable Petronella, say it again.
Negative, non-affirming.
Non-affirming negative. Jyotiji, what do you think?
Yes, Geshe-la, non-affirming negative phenomena.
Very good. Okay, now look at this object again. Look at this object and tell me, just give me your, please say the answer coming from your heart. What is this, Elroy?
This is a flower. Positive
Flower.
phenomena.
Okay, good. Nivediji, tell me, speak your mind. What is this? Unmute yourself.
Flower.
Flower. Okay, Prabhjot Singh ji, what is this? Okay. So it looks, you see that all the answers that we're getting, this is how unnatural, although we learn about it, that this is empty of objective existence, that this is empty of being a chocolate. We learn about this, still we look at it, we say it's a flower. You're getting it? This is your answers are very honest answers. What comes very naturally, you answer it. So what comes naturally is very positive object. You're getting it? So our minds are so addicted to seeing things as positive phenomena. In actuality, what is this? This is absence of the objective existence. This is also there, but we don't see that. We see only the flower. You're getting it? So the point is that we have to now train our mind to see the non-affirming negative emptiness of the same object. Heart Sutra says, form is empty. Emptiness is a form. Form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is not other than a form. You're getting it? Form is empty. What we see by naked eyes, our natural mind, spontaneous mind as a form should be seen as the emptiness of objective existence, negative phenomena. You're getting it? Negative phenomena. And what you see as the negative phenomena, that should be seen as the physical form, which is a positive phenomena. Okay, so from this, well, let's say that the flower and this object this object in my hand as a flower, the way Prabhjot Singh said, the flower in my hand, and this object being a flower in my hand, this object being empty of objective existence, are these two entity-wise one or different? Raise hands. Entity-wise one. Raise hands. Very good. These two are isolate-wise different. Raise hands. Very good. So these two isolate-wise different. So this is the meaning, right? The form is empty. It has multiple isolates, multiple infinite number of isolates. Same, the flower. This flower not being objectively existent. This flower not being a chocolate. This flower not being this, that, and so forth. There are infinite. Just that there are infinite things in this universe. There are infinite isolates on this particular single object. There are infinite isolates. You're getting it? And of these, our mind has to pick up one isolate, in order to remove our mental defilements. So the Buddha nature becomes manifest. It is to pick up the isolate of the emptiness of objective existence. You're getting it? You have to pick this isolate up and meditate on this. This is what we have to learn. We have to train. You're getting it? Okay. So without the concept of the entities isolate, we will never learn how to separate these isolates, the flower and the emptiness of flower and so forth. We will never learn. Once we learn this concept, then it becomes so easy for us to meditate on emptiness. Okay, whether what I'm seeing, what I'm meditating now, what I am conceptually what I'm getting, whether or not this is emptiness, or I'm meditating. Okay, let's say that. Okay, let's say emptiness is synonymous with emptiness of objective existence. Raise hands. Emptiness is synonymous with emptiness of objective existence according to Prasangika, according to Hasbury school. Raviji, Shelley. Wow, Shelley is meditating to isolate all the things. Yeah. Okay, Susanna, what do you think? Huh? Okay, very good. Okay, so the point is that the flower and the emptiness of the flower. Emptiness of the flower means emptiness of objective existence of the flower. So when I say emptiness, it doesn't mean nothingness. It simply means the emptiness of objective existence of the flower. So the flower and the emptiness of the flower, are these two isolate-wise one or different? Anybody, just raise hands and give me an answer. Okay, the Anna Sophie?
Different.
Entity-wise different, isolate-wise different. Very good.
Yes.
Isolate-wise different. Now, let's say that, okay, now I'll take you into a little more complicated. Okay, can you imagine first, do you agree with me that this, what you say is flower now, if you look at it through electron microscope, we can see just billions of atoms. You agree with me or not? Okay, when you see it on the atomic level, the flower disappears. You agree with me or not? Very good. Okay, so now, say when you zoom in this flower, you go into the atomic level. On the atomic level, the flower disappears. You're getting it? So now, can I say that what is this object? This is a bunch of atoms. Is correct or not correct? Huh? Very good. This is a flower. Is it correct or not correct? Correct. This is empty of objective existence. Correct or not correct? They're all correct. You're getting it? They're all correct. Now, many people, because they don't learn about these entities, isolates, oneness, differentness, entity-wise, isolate-wise, one different, they never learn this, because of which, now when they meditate emptiness, right, they say, okay, you go into the flower, then you see the bunch of atoms. What happened to the flower? The flower disappeared. You're getting it? Flower's empty. Okay, now you go into the, okay, now you go, let's say first you see the flower, then you see the atoms, the flower disappears. You're getting it? Okay, now my question to you is, the flower is a positive or negative phenomenon? Okay, raise hands, very quick. Brother Peck. Negative, positive phenomena. Very good. Okay, now the same object, you go into on the atomic level. Wow, surprisingly, you see it's a bunch of atoms, just atoms. Okay, No flower. The flower disappears. Okay. Positive, negative. Raise hands. Abelardo?
Still is positive, but one is seeing now the atoms, like the Vaibhashikas.
No. What I'm saying is, Mike, just be very precise. Be very precise with your answer to my question. My question is, okay, you see the atoms, and then where's the flower? The flower's empty. The flower's empty. The flower disappears. The flower's empty. The flower's empty. There's positive or negative. Andre?
Negative phenomena, Geshe-la.
The flower's empty. Negative phenomena. Very good. Okay. Then, but the atoms are there. Wow, this is amazing. Just atoms, no flower, but atoms are there. Atoms, billions of atoms. Okay, Susanna, positive, negative. Unmute.
I think it's still negative phenomena, isn't it?
Okay, the atoms. Atoms are positive, negative.
I don't know.
No, the flower is positive, negative.
It's positive.
Very good. Why? Because there's an object there to tell that I'm the flower. You're getting it? You don't have to explicitly negate something. But likewise, atoms. Atoms, they say that I'm the atom. You're getting it? Atoms are also positive. So, now why I'm saying this is, look, with the same object, you can see multiple aspects. One can see this as a flower. Okay, let's say. Okay, Jane, tell me, what is this?
Glass of water, Geshe-la.
A glass of water. Glass of water. If I ask the ordinary people on the street, they will say that this is a glass of water. If I ask the chemist, they will say that this is H2O. If I ask the physicist, they will say that this is electrons, protons, neutrons. And then if I ask the NTC batch 2, they will say that this is empty of chocolate. Right? And if I ask NMC students, they will say that this is empty of objective existence. You're getting it. Who's correct? Who's correct? Carolyn Hansen? Who's correct?
Everyone's correct.
Okay, Shelly, who's correct?
Everyone's correct. Everyone.
All are correct. Very good. All are correct. All are correct. Okay, let's see. Now, look. When you see this as a water, it's a positive phenomenon. You agree with me, raise hands. Very good. When you see this as H2O, again, this is a positive phenomenon. Raise hands. Very good. When you see this a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, again, it's a positive phenomenon. Raise hands. Very good. When you show this to somebody through electron microscope, they're surprised that I'm looking for water and the water is empty. It disappeared. It's a negative phenomenon. Raise hands. Very good. And then the NDC batch 2 would say that this is empty of chocolate, right? This is empty of chocolate. Okay, is it that the positive phenomenon, negative phenomenon? Raise hands. Okay, then NMC students comes, oh, this is empty of objective existence. Positive, negative phenomenon. Raise hands. Very good. Look, so this is with the same object, people who meditate on emptiness, who just leave everything behind, to seek freedom from the mental defilements for dharma practice. They go into the solitudes. They go in solitudes to meditate emptiness. But many of them, they don't get the opportunity to study the anti-device, isolated one, different, all these intellectual exercises. They were totally unfortunate that they did not get this opportunity to learn all these things. So therefore, they get some, small instructions on emptiness, and then they are very serious in their practice. They're very serious in their practice. Then they just cook their food on their own, and very early morning they get up, make prostrations, make offerings, then start to do their puja, their practice, and then meditation. Then they'll, let's say, first they go and let's say the emptiness of the water. Okay, then they first see the water, then they'll go into the atomic level. On the atomic level, where's the water? What is empty? So just the atoms are there because they are what I said earlier. When I showed all these objects, you gave the answer on the positive phenomena. Likewise, if you are not trained to see the negative phenomena, then you are bound to see the positive phenomena. Of the three things, when you go into the atomic level, atoms are there and the water disappears. It's also there. That the water is not there is also you are experiencing. You are seeing the atoms, you are seeing the water disappear also, but your mind will latch onto the positive, which is the atoms, not the emptiness of the water. And they stay in this experience. Just they see initially this water disappears, now the atoms are there, and stay in this experience with atoms. They stay in this for years and years and years. Tell me, object that is coming to the mind, the atoms, are they positive or negative? Reasons? Anybody? Okay, Abelardo? Positive. You're getting it? Positive. What is emptiness? Positive or negative? Anybody? Reasons? Lianchu?
Negative.
Very good. Minoti, you wish negative. Unmute.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. It is non-affirming negative.
Very good. Okay, now when you meditate emptiness, the object that you're meditating must be negative instead of positive. Within negative, it must be non-affirming negative as opposed to affirming negative. On the contrary, many people who are not exposed to this training, positive and negative, oneness, differentness of the entities, the entities and isolates, without these trainings, they cannot distinguish, they cannot isolate these, the aspects. Because of which, what comes to the mind, a positive phenomena comes. And then they think that they are meditating emptiness. They spend years and years and years. And without the emptiness meditation, in a way, they think that they are meditating on emptiness, but they are not meditating on emptiness. They are meditating on a positive phenomena, which is not at all emptiness. So this is very unfortunate. Therefore, to really be say whatever you do in your life, particularly with the Dharma practice, to make sure that what you're doing is really meaningful, you have to be thoroughly learned. Without being exposed to these learning, then meditation emptiness is not possible. You're getting it? If you just leave it on our natural without training to isolate these points, the isolates, entities, oneness, difference, positive, negative. Without learning these things, it's impossible to precisely get what emptiness is. And without this, all our efforts, of course, will not be in vain, but for sure, it's not going to be of the greatest. You invest so much energy there, effort there, but the benefit, if you are able to include this learning, then this would have given like 100% benefit. You may get only about like 30 or 40%, not more. You're getting it? So these are the benefits of learning these concepts. Okay, so now one or two questions if you have. Okay, Carolyn Henson.
Geshe-la, we've been talking a lot about the half full in the discussion group, and it's brought up some questions for me about the definitions for negative and positive phenomena. So I'm reading it to make sure I say it right. So in the definitions, I'm just wondering what's the difference between a mind that cognizes and a mind that explicitly cognizes. So that's one. And then
okay, let's go one by one.
Okay.
Mind cognizes and mind explicitly cognizes. Very good. Okay, this is a good point, but don't worry too much about that part, because the question is coming, I'll give the answer. And others who feel little confused, don't worry. You're getting it? All these details were to study under the Buddhist psychology. And even the Buddhist psychology for NDC is going to be not as detailed as what we cover under NMC. In a way, what we are trying to do here is that NDC is actually how the board, Tibetan's board of the Nalanda studies with the Debeshla and the Kunjabla, is why we created this NDC is as a precursor preparation for the Nalanda Masters course. You're getting it? So we are not really expecting it's not that we expect only people who are already exposed to the Buddhist philosophy. Not only those people, even somebody who is really totally new, zero in Buddhist philosophy, even that person is entitled to study the NDC, so that they prepare themselves to get to NMC eventually. So the point is that as compared to NDC1, NDC2, you are in a way you are saying, yeah, you are very close towards joining NMC batch 2. For NDC1, they had to wait for longer. They have to wait for longer, the 1 year more than what the number of years that you have to wait. So this one thing. But at the same time, with the NDC 1 and 2, for sure there are people who are already exposed to say the earlier learnings. Like I remember Anna Sophie, she is well exposed to these concepts because she attended minimum like 2 full-fledged Bodhicitta retreats in the cultural center, right? And of course she is very bright. Yeah. So likewise, I can see that some of you already have exposure to these learnings from. And then I learned that Abelardo also has been into Dharma for many years. So the point is that there are people who are already exposed to these concepts already, and others who are very new. So the whole purpose is to help them, someone who's really new. So therefore, my teaching there, while I will not try to run away or evade all the technicalities. I will not really run away from the technicalities. But at the same time, in my mind, I also have to keep in mind people who are new. You're getting it? So those who are already exposed, you are free to come up with your questions. So because at times I may skip some of the technicalities, like what Carolyn is asking, the knowing or cognizing versus explicit cognizing. What's the difference? So these are the nuances, and I'll be happy to share with you here. Okay, let's say that, let's say that okay, this is a flower. You're getting it? This is a flower. And I say that, then let's say Jyoti said that, okay, I'm from NDC 2. This is a non-flower, right? Okay, Niveditaji asked, what is this? And I said, this is a flower. And then Jyoti said that I'm from NDC 2. This is non-flower, right? So Jyoti cognized non-flower explicitly. She cognized meaning to know. Jyoti knows the non-flower explicitly and cognizes a flower implicitly. And I cognize the flower explicitly and cognize non-flower implicitly, right? So I cognize the non-flower, but implicitly Jyoti cognizes a flower implicitly. She cognizes on the non-flower explicitly and the flower implicitly. So both of us cognize the flower as well as the non-flower. You're getting it? Okay. Any more questions? Okay, Carolyn, what is your second question?
So it's along the same line. So I was wondering what the difference then is between explicitly negating, merely negating, and just negating. And so I'm asking these questions because I feel like there's a little bit of discrepancy in the definition. If you were to say something is a negative phenomenon, then you have to explicitly negate. But if I think that the half full is an affirming negative, but then the definition of affirming negative doesn't explicitly.
The half full, half empty is easy. It is not difficult. So it has nothing to do with contradiction with the definition. Definition is a very high level of the meaning. meaning can be a little flexible, but the definitions they say no compensation, or what do you call it? What is the word? I say the nothing to negotiate with the definition. Definition is definition. Whereas meanings, when you speak about meanings, etymology, we can compromise. Compromises can be there, exceptions can be there. Definition, no exception. Everything must fit so well there. When you define something, you have to do it by thinking from all different aspects, not just the meaning plus the explicit understanding, implicit understanding, all this must be okay. Definition is in other words, it's a very high level, extremely high level standard of the meaning. So definition must not be altered. Now, the point is, if I say the half full and half empty, right? Say, okay, the water here, right? I crave to drink water, and then let's say the Abelardo give me I'll say okay, I crave to have a juice, and Abelardo give me a juice. Okay, this is okay. Then because I want to have so much of juice, how I would describe, I would say it's half full, it's half empty. You're getting it? Half empty, meaning that I want more. Whereas if I'm like a small child, a small, pampered, spoiled child, right? Not want to drink anything, no milk, no juice, I want to run away, right? Parents, they chase after the child, hey, drink juice, otherwise your health will go down, right? The mother worries. And with this, I would say, it's half full, which means I don't want to drink it. You're getting it? Meaning is very different. So what I'm saying, when I say if it's half full, I'm not explicitly negating the what is missing. I'm not negating that. You're getting it? So it is a positive phenomenon. Whereas it's half empty, it's a negative phenomenon. I'm explicitly negating something. Yeah, it's the same. Entity-wise is the same. Entity-wise is the same, but absolute-wise is different. One is positive, one is negative. Like this. You see this is a flower, this is positive. You see this empty object exists, this is a negative. Same object has multiple facets. Some are positive, some are negative. Within negative, some are affirming negative, some are non-affirming negative. All these things can all be there within the same object. So same object can be seen in the light of positives and in the light of negative. The example that I gave you is the flower. Then let's say the self. I measure emptiness of self. So I go into the 6 elements, or let's say, to put it simply for time, let's say I go into just the atoms of my body. In the atoms of body, Dorji disappears. So then I sit on the atoms of the atoms. Dorji disappears, but the atoms are there. I just meditate the atoms. Dorji doesn't come. Only the atoms appear. That's a positive phenomenon. And then another Nagarjuna will say that this is a positive phenomenon. This is not a mere emptiness. So he would not focus on this part with the same object, where from the object Dorji is not there. From the object Dorji is empty. That is not affirming there. So Nagarjuna will sit in this position, in this as the object. So all are with the same object, Dorji, or say atoms of Dorji, emptiness observations, they're all with the same object, has all these attributes. Some are positive, some are negative, some are affirming negative, some are non-affirming negative. So from this, then you have to select. Likewise, the half full, half empty. Half empty is negative, half full is positive. Okay, any more questions? Anybody? Okay, Carolyn Ming.
Sheila, in the previous class, you mentioned that all phenomena necessarily be hidden phenomena, or all phenomena necessarily should be manifest phenomena. At the last line, you say, if manifest is hidden phenomena, this is contradictory.
Okay.
Because
So basically, they always keep in mind one, particularly with this text, Tenet system. If you could remember when I speak about the manifest and the hidden phenomena, we are talking about this. I told you categorically that the definition of the manifest and the hidden phenomena, right, can differ amongst the different philosophers. I told you categorically. You're getting it? So therefore, the best thing would be in future if you speak about say the in some ways part of me I have a tremendous love for this text. I have a tremendous respect, love for this text. But in terms of the definition of the manifest and the hidden phenomena, I'm very flexible. It's not that I should be rigid to this because I know the other scholars' presentation. Also, I know the other scholars' presentation, and they can be say the presentation, not in terms of subject matter. In terms of presentation, they can be quite a contrast. You can see contrast there. So in future, so otherwise, most of the presentations there are very common to all the traditions, all the philosophers, Buddhist philosophers. And here with the hidden and manifest, what I would suggest is that if you want to define it according to this book, and there's nothing wrong, if you define this book, just say that hidden and manifest phenomena, hidden manifest phenomena, according to Jesun Jingmei Wangbo, Jesun Kuncho Jingmei Wangbo, according to this author. You can specify that. Then the people say that because it is quite in a stark contrast with some other say the common presentations. So when you present the Geshe Doji, they said like this, okay, poor Dorji, he must be teaching something wrong. People who accept the other versions, right? So the point is not about me teaching right or wrong. This is not the point. The point is just be able to specify that according to this author, how it is presented by the author. For example, let's say, what is food, right? If you're from Singapore, okay, chow mein, right? Chow mein is the food. Don't say that. Chow mein is the food according to the Chinese tradition, right? And then spaghetti, right? Italians like Massimo, right? No, it's not chow mein. It's the spaghetti is the food. No, according to the Italian version, spaghetti is food. According to the Chinese version, the chow mein is food. Yeah, they both are correct, right? Both are correct. And Tibetans will come, oh no, not chow mein, no spaghetti, tenduk. You're getting it? Tenduk is the food. No, there's no contradiction there. All are made of say the flour. All are made of the flour with the water, right? And how you put it, how you give a shape that may be a little different, and then the additional seasonings may be different. Otherwise, the main ingredients, they are much more the same. You're getting is finally to survive you. That's the purpose. So what I'm saying is that particularly with the definition, keep in mind definition of the hidden and manifest, I would highly suggest you to always specify the author according to this book. At least say according to this book. Precious Garland, Tenet System, Precious Garland. According to that, this is how it is defined. You can specify like this. Okay, this is one thing. Then Carolyn Ming, what I like to also tell you is be very discreet. When I say a sentence, it can be from the point of view of the opponent's view. It can be from the point of my questions, not my view. You're getting it? Not my view, but my questions. Questions to the positions mentioned in the text. My questions. My questions does not mean that I believe in this. You're getting it? So, for example, if you say that all human beings should be girls, then I'll say Andre is a girl, right? Then Andre should be girl. But I don't believe that Andre is girl. Andre is a man. You're getting it? So according to your position, then I throw this as a argument, not as my presentation. So you should be able to discreetly differentiate what is my view, what is my the arguments, what is my basically it's my view, my arguments, and my defense, right? So all these you have to. So okay. So with this, the point. These are the things that you have to keep in mind. So when I say that manifest and hidden phenomena, if I say that these two are same, right? It is not that I'm saying it. It can be in the form of my arguments, in the form, not as my arguments, can be the, I'm just picking up the potential arguments against a particular position. Okay, these you have to be mindful. Good. Okay, anybody else? Maybe last question if you have. Okay, if not, we'll end with dedication.
Thank you, Dipeshla. Additional dedication prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chandrajit Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in the 3 times so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Chancho sem cho rinpo che ma ke pa na ke gyo che ke wa nya pa me pa yang kone kong du pe war shong. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into the enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding of the Dharma of teaching and realization. May I, in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect view, and the 2 stages. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. By the power of practicing and supplicating to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts, and may Dharma and the auspiciousness proliferate in all the places where we abide. The path of the union of emptiness and compassion is lucidly explained by the protector of both Dharma and the beings of the land of snows. You are the lotus holder, Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate to you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who harbor malice through perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of the 3 jewels. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages in the paths. May I quickly attain the stage of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by Arya Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings on dependent origination in particular, even at the cost of my life. We'll recite Heart Sutra for 3 times. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate bodhi swaha tyatha Om gate gate paragate Parasamgate bodhi swaha Atyatha Om gate gate paragate Parasamgate bodhi swaha. Thank you, Kishla. Thank you, Dipeshla. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kishila. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, all of you. See you